wedstrijd van die reuse misloop nie. Die opwinding van internasionale rugby word aan u gebied deur geel bladsye.
And 67 to 68,000 people here on a perfect day for rugby. It really couldn't be better. It's dry, it's pretty warm, and the field is firm. There's virtually no wind, so who wins the toss doesn't matter. In point of fact, we have heard that Jock Hobbs won the toss. We don't know which way he's going to play. He'll probably only decide when he comes out onto the field. And what a wonderful sight. And let's have a look at these teams. There is the New Zealand side, exactly the same team as we had in the last international, with Jock Hobbs the captain, those two powerful locks from Auckland, Hayden and Gary Wetton, and the side that did so well in Durban. Grant Fox, who scored 22 points in the 2 tests so far, and everyone says he's got his kicking boots on, so that's a prospect to be waited for. Springbok side with the 3 changes. Garth Wright coming in for his first match, and in the front row, Frans Erasmus, that tower of solid muscle from the southwestern districts originally, now playing for Northern Transvaal. And Piet Kruger, who's played nearly all his provincial rugby for Northern Transvaal, now playing for Transvaal. And we're waiting for the 2 teams to appear. In the meantime, a bit of the fun of the fair going on out there. Naas Botha, who has scored now 204 points in the 19 internationals that he's played. And as you can see, we said all the fun of the fair, the Kiwi flag. It's amazing how many New Zealanders are in this country following the tour, and with the teams 1-1 with 2 to go, an absolutely beautiful prospect for a lovely game here at Loftus Versfeld.
Well, I suppose everybody's saying this is the 50-50 test match. Who would put money on this test match? But I just was thinking earlier, about 5 minutes ago, about wondering how Garth Wright must feel at the moment. Frans Erasmus playing in their first test matches. They're such important games when you consider that the New Zealand loose forwards have 70 test caps amongst them, and Garth Wright coming into this vital game for South Africa, his first test match. Muir College, the people down in the Eastern Cape must be holding thumbs for him, and one can only say, well, fasten your seat belts and grab a beverage and hang on to your seat.
But Garth Wright, I'm sure, up to it. He's a fine, nuggety little player, only 22 years of age, and he's played some very fine games for Eastern Province, and I'm sure everyone is holding thumbs for him. For the rest, we're going to have that titanic battle amongst the forwards with Scout Burger and Louis Moorman renewing their great battle with Gary Wetton and Andy Hayden, and of course Murray Mexted having his duel at the back of the lineup with Jannie Breert. Murray Mexted, who has played 34 test matches, and we're not including these 2 because they're unofficial, but before he played in the first match here, he had 34 tests under his belt. And looking right down this New Zealander side, there's tremendous experience. Only Victor Simpson and Mike Clamp have played 2 tests each, and Grant Fox, but for the rest of them, nearly all of them have had over 20, and of course Andy Hayden, who's the veteran at the side at 35 years of age, has had 41 international matches behind him. So it's a question of the New Zealanders' tremendous rucking power against one thinks perhaps slightly better possession in the line-out from the Springboks, and will they use their backs? Will Naas Botha let the ball go down through the hands of Michael du Plessis, Donnie Gerber, and here there's Jock Hobbs and Grant Fox, Mike Clamp. See, they're all looking, there's Gary Knight looking pretty tense. There's big Andy Hayden, Murray Mexted, Warwick Taylor, and last of all, Kieran Crowley. Look at that crowd in the background. Absolutely jam-packed in the sunlight, mostly in shirt sleeves. It's really beautifully warm here, but not too hot for the players.
There'll be a great roar now, Chick.
Naas Botha on his home ground. There's Jannie Breert behind him. There's Frans Erasmus. Willie Schmidt, Piet Kruger. There's Louis Moorman. And just listen to that roar as the green jerseys appear on Loftus Versfeld. And all the fun of the fair here outside. There were bright places going from 2 miles away, and lots of chaps celebrating from about 10 o'clock this morning. Now one wonders what final bit of motivation they're getting there from Captain Jock Hobbs. Nasport looking pretty relaxed. One wonders.
Well, relaxed on the outside, but he must be pretty tense. What a lot of pressure on this Springbok captain and the fly half. Home ground, having kicked. One says he kicked badly last week. I'm not so sure that he kicked so badly as against having tremendous trouble with the swirling wind at Kings Park.
And the referee, Mr. Ken Rowlands, having his third international in this series. But remember, he had 2 previously. He had 2 when the Argentinians were here, 1 in Johannesburg and 1 in Durban. So it's his 5th international match he's handling here in South Africa. And what a great character he is. A real lover of the game of rugby. And there they are. Has it gone 10 meters? Yes, it has. And Skalkberger, it is with the ball in his hands. Frans Erasmus getting straight in there from the beginning. And Uli Schmidt. And Garth Wright. That's a good pass to Nasport. And there's a very good up and under. It's going to land inside the 22-meter area. And it hit the ground. Good work there by Loveridge to get it back to Crowley. And the touch judge there is Mr. Frank McMullen from New Zealand. Frank McMullen, who was here as part of the All Blacks team in 1960. And he handled the game on last Tuesday, Barbarians versus the New Zealanders, as referee. And Skalkberger took it two-handed there. Garth Wright, here's the drop goal attempt, but it's quite a long way off target, that one. I think perhaps he lifted his head too.
Well, yes, he came off it a little bit, but certainly worth the opportunity, worth the try. And one just wonders why the Springboks let their tie up and under bounce, because it was a very good one. Came down a meter inside or just outside the New Zealanders' 22, and the ball was just left open to be cleared by the New Zealanders.
Grant Fox with his first kick of the game. And it's a lovely hanging ball. Louis Moorman going up for it. And Loveridge gets it. And straight into touch. Directly into touch. So Loveridge looking a little bit disappointed with himself. Number 9 on his back there. Loveridge had 22 test caps for New Zealand. Uli Schmidt. And the referee giving a penalty to the Springboks for obstruction. And you saw there how he indicated to the New Zealanders the reason for that penalty. And a very important kick from Nasport. About 10 meters outside the 22. 15 meters in from touch. And he hit it well, and 3 points on the board for South Africa. There you have it, 2 minutes gone. So a very important advantage to get 3 points early on. I think psychologically, you and I have played in situations where it really, I think, puts your tails up, doesn't it?
Well, I think not only from the Springboks' point of view, but also from Nasport's point of view, to get those 3 points on the board just as the binoculars go flying, and absolutely vital for the Springboks to get ahead.
The ball well taken by Val Bartman, and there he goes, Val Bartman with a good drive and getting support. That was number 7 was Kat Small there, and Nasport with it. Another good pass from Garth Wright. And Hugh, I think Garth Wright will be feeling pretty good. He's had 3 passes, all very good, into the hands of Nasport, and certainly he'll feel a lot better.
Well, I think those are the ones that, you know, when you lie awake at night thinking about the game and you get up in the morning and then you have that hour or two beforehand, you just, I'm sure that goes through the player's mind, what happens if the first 2 or 3 balls I get, I drop.
And I'm sure the Springboks will be determined to give a bit better protection to their scrum half than they did last week. And
that's a penalty for offside in the line out to New Zealand.
And Grant Fox indicating he's going to kick for the posts. And there you can see where it is. It's about 6 meters inside the Springbok half of the field. And of course, all infringements for a line out are given 15 meters in from touch. Wherever the offence occurred, whether it's 5 meters or 6 meters or 7, it's always given 15 meters in. And Grant Fox, who has already got 22 points from the first 2 tests.
And of course, this kick, there's a beautiful view of it. Equally as vital for the New Zealanders.
I don't think it'll be short. And it's looking good. Wait for the flags. Yes, 3-all it is. A penalty each. And a pretty fair reflection of the play so far. And running up there was All Blacks couldn't quite grab it. Garth Wright with it. Good work by Frans Erasmus there. Michael du Plessis out to Gerber. And Donnie Gerber testing one for Crowley. Will the ball beat him into touch? Yes, a beautiful kick. It's with the Springboks right onto the attack. That's Donnie Gerber. Not much else he could do. He got a scrambled ball there.
I think that probably checked a very good kick by Donnie Gerber, but Kieran Crowley, I think, caught a little unawares by the Highveld, the hardness of the ground. He looked like he was going to have it well covered, and the ball just skipped away from him.
So he can read now to throw in from no more than about 7 meters from his own try. Mr. Steve Stradom, the touch to the far side. And there is Uli Schmidt going, barging for the line, but the cover defence came right across and really bundled him into touch there. But the Springboks have gained a few more vital meters, no more than 3 meters from their opponent's line. Hika Reed's throw. Well, Bartman going back to decided that Hobbs was in the line-out, so back he comes. Well taken there. Well, Bartman it was. And well done, good possession. Garth Wright looking for a gap. And who's he got with him? Narsburger, du Plessis, and Kunis in the line there. And a penalty there to the Springboks.
Playing the ball on the ground.
Referee in very quickly. All Blacks playing that ball on the ground. And here is another opportunity for Narsburger. But good possession for the Springboks there.
Well, it was very good possession. Frans Erasmus has showed up well in the loose a couple of times. Here we see it again. Uli Schmidt on the charge. Now watches the ball come out. Michael du Plessis just a little bit undecided as he gets possession. Just waiting for the players to run into position. There goes Kunis. Now watch, there's a good tackle from Victor Simpson. And meanwhile, Narsburger has kicked the goal.
And the Springboks leading by 2 penalties to 1. And as you can see there, 7 minutes gone. And it's been a pretty interesting first 7 minutes. And Grant Fox, see how well behind the All Blacks are. They don't want to take a chance of overrunning that ball. A lovely hanging ball. Skalkberger who tapped it down. Uli Schmidt back to Botha. Now Botha from inside his 22, so he can kick directly into touch. He must be pleased with 2 out of 2 penalty attempts, both over. Lars has now kicked 210 points in Test rugby. Referee watching the Springboks are not in front of that last line of feet in that ruck. All Black ball. When the referee can't decide who stopped the play, he gives it to the side who are going forward. And so it's Dave Loveridge. Out to Fox. Fox, there's an up and under. That's also a good one. Under it is Kunis. The man and ball, did he mark? Yes, he marked, I think. Fair catch given. No, it's a penalty. You see the arm up. A penalty given, I think. The referee gave the mark and then said that there was a late charge. Kieran Crowley with it in his 22. And has he found touch? Yes.
And a very good return kick by Kieran Crowley.
It's interesting to see his thumb is bound up there. So now it's the New Zealanders on the attack.
Short line out by the Springboks.
Short line out. Berger trying to tap it back, and penalty for barging in the line. An obstruction. Now Spuerta with that very long one, but right down the throat of Kieran Crowley. And Crowley runs there outside his 22, so he couldn't kick directly into touch. And Jaco Reinach.
Well, it's quite interesting to see Kieran Crowley kicking the ball down midfield there. That's, of course, how the New Zealanders got their try early on in the second test, when they did exactly that, and the Springboks were slow to clear, and Kieran Crowley using the same tactic again.
And in the final analysis, he gained some ground because it is the New Zealanders on the attack now, and an untidily tapped back ball there with Hika Reid coming in to try and save the situation where the referee said it was knocked forward. Hika Reid.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch Frans Erasmus on the loosehead side for South Africa, only his second scrum in Test rugby.
And scrumming against the redoubtable Gary Knight. John Fox and Warwick Taylor, a good rolling kick indeed, and it's going to beat Gillis in a touch. Yeah, a very well-placed rolling kick. That's Warwick Taylor there, with his right arm bound up. And you can see what a good attacking position it is there for the New Zealanders. Gary Knight falling back, so it's a short line out again. Springboks have called for. That's Pete Creer, the new Springbok. And well taken by Louis Moorman. Garth Wright, back to Nas Botha. And Nas Botha, a good kick, but it hasn't found... Yes, it has, a beautiful one. Mike Clamp thought he was going to grab it inside the field of play, but it beat him out there. And the big Loftus Versfeld crowd just love Nas Botha. This is his home ground. There's Louis Moorman, behind him Skalkberger, number 1 Frans Erasmus. But that's a good tap back by the New Zealanders. Fox out there to Warwick Taylor. And there's another one of those raking kicks right down the middle of the field. Plenty of time for Carl du Plessis to get back and dot it down. But interesting, Hugh Bladen, that the New Zealanders seem to want to get South Africa kicking out for the dropouts.
Well, I think in that situation where it's scrum ball, there's a lot of pressure, backline against backline, and they're well inside their own half, and not a bad tactic, actually, to have them dropping out continuously.
12 minutes gone now in the first half of this match. Andy Hayden it was there, tapped back to Loveridge, and Loveridge keeping the ball in play. Under it is Carl du Plessis. And has he found touch? Yep.
No, it was Carl du Plessis. Very good play by the left wing. Of course, the wings these days in modern rugby brought more and more in as defenders and catchers and kickers. Short line out by the New Zealanders.
And that is Murray Mexted at the back, tapping back. Loveridge out to Fox. Fox gives it there to Shaw. And Mark Shaw barging his way and showing his power. And will they get second? They've got second phase. Out there, Fox. He's got Clamp with him. Mike Clamp. And he keeping in a nice cross kick there. Donny Gerber going back for it. But he will save the situation. Jock Hobbs is up, number 7. But the right thing to do to dot it down. Springboks leading 6 points to 3.
Well, Dave Loveridge is out cold, absolutely cold. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen there, the physiotherapist on the New Zealand side hurtled onto the field, and Dave Loveridge has hardly moved since he got a bit of a smack as he gave that pass out.
Well, it was tapped back by Murray Mexted, and he had to take a fairly high ball, and we were watching the ball, didn't see what happened, but he obviously must have got a pretty heavy tackle there, because down he went. That's big Andy Hayden, number 4 on his back. And there you can see Andy Donald getting ready. He's the substitute, number 20 on his back. Number before he can go on, of course, the doctor has to certify that the injured player is not fit to continue.
Well, Dave Loveridge is up, and it was a bit of a frightening moment there as the physiotherapist hurtled onto the field, and Loveridge obviously took a very hard smack. That's their doctor, Laurie Knight, former All Black, who just walked away sporting a moustache. That's their the fellow in the blazer on the right is the physiotherapist on the tour, and Loveridge obviously very groggy.
One wonders whether Dave Loveridge wants to leave the field, but now Dr. Laurie Knight has been on, and he has certified, told the referee, yes, the referee wants the doctor to tell him.
He's told me not to come on.
And there is the signal from the doctor to the referee that Loveridge is not fit to continue. So we have Andrew Donald coming onto the field, number 20 on his back.
Well,
he played in the first test, and he's a very good player indeed. And that substitution came after 14 minutes. And that was an interesting little move there with the ball going out to Jacka Reinach. And with it, that's Craig Green. Craig Green inside to Hobbs, but it was intercepted. And the Springboks have got possession. Nasburta running his way out of trouble. Dani Gerba. And from inside his 22, he was tackled there by, and I think that's a late tackle. I think that was definitely Victor Simpson who went into Dani Gerba after he had kicked the ball. The referee has given the penalty. The choice would have been to have it where the tackle occurred, or if he went out to touch 15 yards or meters in from where it went out. So Nasburta, here it is. Here it is again.
Yes, we see it again, and watch now, Dani Gerba just in with a kick, and well, again, Victor Simpson probably committed to the tackle. Just shortly after that, they had a little bit of a tussle, but the referee decided on the late tackle.
I think he could have taken a bit of the venom out of the tackle, perhaps. Anyway, Nasburta from about 3 meters inside his own half of the field. I think it's pushed to the right. No, just past the post. Kieran Crowley with plenty of time. 22 dropout.
Interesting to see the touch judge, Frank McMullen, obviously a lot of experience, pinned himself up against the pole until Kieran Crowley had decided what to do.
Ron Fox. That's a nice hanging ball to let Hobbs get up there, and the rest of the New Zealanders. Mark Shaw. What a powerful chap he is. And here's second phase. Andrew Donald. There it goes to Warwick Taylor. Simpson has it. Crowley in the line, but a good kick ahead, but taken by Yanni Brett.
Well, that's tit for tat. Dani Gerba just late tackled Victor Simpson, and they both stood there wagging fingers at each other, and there's a contest. Well, the referee just calling the two together and saying, just cool down a little bit. That's quite right.
And you see, it made them shake hands, and the crowd rather enjoyed that. But I still think a very stupid thing for Dani Gerba. He's a chap with a lot of experience.
Well, we'll see it again, here again, going through the hands of Warwick Taylor. Simpson just deciding on the kick, and again, those decisions are so marginal.
Well, now we're going to see whether Grant Fox can level the scores. It's a kick that I think he will expect to get. It's pretty well between the two sets of posts, so it's a fairly straight kick, and it is from the Springbok 10-meter line. Grant Fox, who kicked 301 points for Auckland in the 1984 season. And it's got all the distance. Is it straight? Wait for it. Yes, it's there. 6-all. As you can see, 18 minutes gone in the first half. So 2 penalties each. 2 by Fox against 2 by Nasburta. And a fairly fair reflection of the game so far. Right, well taken by Gary Wetton there. But what has the referee said?
Well, it's a penalty to the New Zealanders for Willie Schmidt going in with his boots up. That's under the law of dangerous play.
And Grant Fox will try and get touch. He's not going to get touch. He's got Nasburta in his 22. And Nasburta is going to get touch.
Just shows you how vital that finding touch against a player of Naas Botha's prodigious distances is so necessary.
Andrew Donald, a good pass out there. Warwick Taylor has it now. Victor Simpson. And the kick ahead. Kunis chasing it. And out of touch. On the full, Johan Kunis, whose brother, Chris Kunis, used to play for Eastern Province many, many times. In fact, Johan said that one of the chaps he admired most in rugby, who taught him more than anything, was his elder brother, Chris. Good tap back there. Garthwaite, a lovely pass. Donny Gerber with it now. And into the line came Carl du Plessis. Knocked forward. Jock Hobbs with it. Advantage. Referee waiting for advantage, and it is indeed. And chasing it is Mike Clamp. Naas Botha will have to hurry. Well done. And has Kunis got touch? Yeah. Here he is, Johan Kunis. Well taken, that was Gary Wetton. And we've now had 20 minutes in the first half, and the scores are level. 6 points to the Springboks and 6 points to the New Zealanders.
Ek is die puntetelling dan 6 punte elk. Na 21 minute en Andy Donald wat die bal lekker uitgee na Grant Fox en Grant Fox na Victor Simpson na die oorkant toe na Craig Green. Maar die verdediging is daar, die verdediging van Michael du Plessis en ook van Donny Gerber. Springbok voorspelers lekker vinnig daarby, kan 'n goeie bal wees om te wen. Maar die skeieregter die beduie dat die bal daar doodgemaak is en derhalwe sal die Springbok hom ingooi in hierdie vaste skrim.
Die skeieregter is baie vinnig vanmiddag om weer eens die loskrams gou-gou op te blaas en vuilspel so te verhoed.
Nou Garthwaite het al 'n paar netjiese aangee vandag uitgegee. Sy eerste toetswedstryd. Netjies gedaan. Baie netjies gedaan deur Garthwaite. Daar sien jy die kwartlyn van die All Blacks. Van die netjiese skoppie wat geloods is deur Garthwaite.
86-15.
Op die ingooi van die All Blacks is dit weer die Springbokke wat wil bemeester en hom ook in die hande kry. Frans Erasmus wat baie mooi daar omhaal. Klein kantjie weer vir Garthwaite. En nou is die Springbokke baie sterk op die aanval.
Die Springbokke plaas baie druk op die All Blacks.
Maar hy gee strafskop daar.
Al wat ek kan dink is, ek het nie onmiddellik gesien nie, is dat die Springbokke dalk die bal weggegooi het. En dat die All Blacks nie vinnig genoeg die bal kon kry om hom in te gooi nie.
Ja, daar was 'n verhindering gewees aan Springbok kant.
Ek dink dis die enigste logiese rede dan.
Die 10-tree stippellyn van die All Blacks wat hier die twee stelle voorspelers sny of skei. Mooi gedoen deur Skalk Burger nadat hy hier agter oorgeklap is in sy rigting. Andrew Donald wat in die plek speel van Dave Loveridge wat die veld verlaat het. Baie vinnig deurgebars deur Craig Green en Jock Hobbs in die voorpunt. As die All Blacks hierdie bal in die hande kan kry, kan na perre kom. Maar die strafskop.
Ja, die skeieregter is baie streng. Veral as 'n man gespeel word sonder die bal of effens laat. Ons het in die eerste 20 minute reeds gesien hoe hy vir 2 laat laagvatte geblaas het.
Hoe ver kry Naas Botha hom uit? 'n netjiese skop. Hy het die 6 punte aangeteken van die Springbokke dusver. agter in die lyn staan, gaan dit miskien so 'n bietjie beter met die All Blacks. Andrew Donald wat die bal aan sy loskakel laat loop. En sy loskakel Grant Fox, die jag vir Jenes ver terug tot binne sy doelgebied. Maar hy het baie tyd om dood te druk.
Het is interessant dat die All Blacks die druk toepas deur hierdie lang skoppe in die middel van die veld af en dan moet die Springbokke dooddruk en dan moet daar ingeskop word.
Lang hy genoeg. Gary Wetton. Kry die ondersteuning van Mark Shaw. Gary Knight wat ook op insteek. Hika Reed kom 'n bietjie laat by. Mark Shaw die wil met hom vorentoe bars. Andrew Donald wat optel. Gaat Ryk wat afgeneem het. Hierdie skoppie van Dani Gerber is nie uit nie. Jaco Reinagh wat eerste by die bal wil kom. All Blacks het goed gedoen om daardie bal weer in die hande te kry. Victor Simpson wat met hom hardloop. Mike Clamp wat hom in die hande het. En naast Botha die dwing hom uit.
Die Springbokke vorm weer kortlyn staan. Hulle het nou al 'n paar maal gedoen. En dan kry hulle die balle beter as gevolg van hulle goeie springers.
En daar is hulle beste springer Andy Hayden, maar is oor sy kop. Vryskop.
Ja, wys die skeieregter ja, hy sê moenie praat nie. Hulle maak te gou toe en dit is hoekom ek 'n vryskop teen julle gee.
Dis lang, dis ver en dis uit. Die vinnige ingooi dwing Crowley om dadelik te skop. Gert Smal wat eers 'n besering gehad het, maar toe hulle besluit hy's fiks. Skalk Burger en Louis Moelman wag om te spring vir daardie bal.
Ek dink die Springbokke se taktiek werk vanmiddag. Hulle maak 'n kort lyn staan. En dan het die Springbokke baie meer spasie. Dan kan 'n mens die obstruksie baie beter sien en dit is nou al die soveelste strafskop vir obstruksie teen die All Blacks.
Hy kan sy span op die aanval plaas. Maar dit word in die hande gekry deur Clamp. Wat dat dan loop maar Grant Fox. Maak baie seker. Die 6 punte aangeteken vir die All Blacks met 2 strafdoele.
Selfe taktiek weer 'n kort lyn staan en dan kan jy die spasie sien daar tussen die Springbokke en dan kan daar geen sprake van optel wees.
Mooi gevat. Dis 'n gevaarlike hoë skop. Amper is dit Michael Du Plessis wat is hy wat hom optel en dis Louis Moelman wat pragtig met hom hardloop. Piet Creer wat daar wil deurkom.
Agter die hoekvlag uitgeskop en dit is 'n 5-tree skram, 5 meter skram en die Springbokke gaan die bal ingooi.
Nou nader aan aanval en in 'n beter aanvallende posisie kan 'n mens nie wees as hierdie nie. 'n Skram wat baie stewig moet druk nou. Seker maak van die bal. En is Michael Du Plessis wat ver uit laat loop na Jaco Reinagh. En Jaco Reinagh die gly ongelukkig as hy binne toe stap. All Blacks onder lelike druk en Andy McDonald. Donald liewer wat skoon maak.
Die Springbokke is sonder twyfel baas in die lyn staan en hulle het al 3 van die All Blacks se ingooi het hulle geneem.
Hierdie keer nie baas nie. Grant Fox met haastig skop, dis wel Bartman wat so vinnig deurgaan. Bietjie wild oorgeklap, maar tog skoon weggekry. Warwick Taylor en Vic Simpson. Hier is kans vir Clamp. Maar ongelukkig vir hom het hy Boda daar wat kan loop na Jenus. Wat kan skoonmaak. Dis die kwartlyn van die Springbokke wat daar lê. Skalkburger al vanmiddag mooi balle gevat. So ook Louis Moelman. Janie breed agter wat nie die bal kon in die hande kry nie, maar Moelman wat hom dan uiteindelik optel en uitgee na Gaathrijk. Dani Gerber weer met een van daardie skoppies van hom. Skitterend plaas hom binne die speelgebied, maar hierdie keer rol hy nie uit nie. Wat gaan Botha met hierdie een maak? Ja, hy moet skop. Hy is onder druk. Hulle wil met hom hardloop. Maar besluit liewer op die hoë middelveld skop. Karel Du Plessis wat wag op die laaste. Is diep. Crowley. Hulle het nog die heel maar so geskop diep. Skop hom miskien te diep. Baie geleentheid vir die dooddruk van die bal deur Jenus.
Ek dink die hele doel is maar net om druk toe te pas sodat die Springbokke weer kan afskop hier van die 22 meter.
En as Botha die hou ook met die langskop. Bietjie besluitloos. Marie Mekstedt. Gert Smal is daar. Gaathrijk kan hier 'n goeie bal kry. Johan Jenus. Hy gaan hom plaas tot binne die kwartgebied. Is dit Michael Du Plessis wat daar geskop het? Oomblik het sy 12 na 15 gelyk. Gary Knight, die sterk man in die voorry. Springbokke kry hom weer op die ingooi van die All Blacks. Dis blitsig, dis vinnig en dis nie daar nie. Links verby. Sy tweede skipskop poging pale toe.
Die Springbokke is sonder twyfel baas in die lyn staan. Hulle wen baie goeie bal.
Skalkburger eerste daar, Wal Bartman wat baie mooi ondersteun. Jock Hobbs wat uitgegee het na Grant Fox. Dit is nou mooi gevat uit die lug uit, agterste voor. En Jenus, die maak baie seker van die kantlyn. Posisionele spel tot dusver baie goed. Ek wil hom hê, dink Louis Moelman, en ek wil hom hê Skalkburger. Maar Donald gee netjies uit en Warwick Taylor se aangee na Simpson nie so baie netjies nie. Hy is binne sy kwartgebied, daar lê hy voor hom. En Johan Jenus, die jaag ver terug. Lekker diep staan hulle. Springbok agterlyn. Hier die ingooi van die All Blacks en hulle wil die bal op die ingooi hê. Dit is nou die Springbokke. Paar keer vanmiddag al gedoen. Kom ons kyk of dit weer kan regkry. Nee, nie hierdie keer nie. Warwick Taylor. Jaco Reinach wat laat loop na Jenus. En al wat hy moet doen is om seker te maak dat die bal by die kantlyn uit is. Weinig balle is vanmiddag deur die All Blacks al uitgeskop. Ook 'n stukkie taktiek van hulle. besorg dat die Springbokke uitskop en hulle die ingooi kry, maar dat ook nie op hulle ingooi met hulle so goed gegaan nie. Hierdie keer kry hulle hom tog skoon weg. Warwick Taylor wat daar neersny. En Jacob, sy kaptein wat byderhand is. En die Hayden wat ook bygekom het. En John Ashworth.
All Blacks het baie mooi beweeg, so baie goeie ondersteuning en net die bal laat vorentoe val.
Kareltjie wat 'n netjiese aangee. Maar naast Botha hierdie een miskien 'n bietjie laag gewees. Naast Botha die skop nie uit nie.
Ek dink dit was 'n baie goeie skop. Ek dink hy doelbewus nie uitgeskop nie. Nou die All Blacks uitgeskop. Die Springbokke het die bal om in te gooi in die lyn staan.
Presies wat gebeur het. 16. En baie mooi gevat in die lyn staan deur Skalkburger. Hier kan 'n hardloop kom. Naast Botha pragtig daardeur. En Wal Bartman wat bygekom het. Mooie ondersteuning. Verander van rigting. Dani Gerber. En dit is Gert Smil. Jaco Reinagh. Maar hierdie keer is die verdediging van die All Blacks baie suiwer. En het is Dani Gerber wat 'n bietjie vies is toe daar die bal kry. Dat die spel gestaak is.
Bal skief aangegooi in die lyn staan. En daar is skram vir die Springbokke. Hulle gooi die bal in.
En hulle is in 'n aanvallende posisie. Diep binnekant die kwartgebied. Hier kos vinnig uit. Janie Breed. Wat ommaal. Daar vooruit wat moet terugval. En kry Green tot die redding met daar die skoppie. Dis 'n gewillige agterlyn hierdie. Maar een van die All Blacks se besering is Mark Shaw. Mark Cowboy Shaw, kerel wat hard speel.
Ek dink 'n kenmerk
Die groot koppe, daar meneer Louis Leit, Dr. Louis Leit. Hulle 'n bietjie geselswerk doen en hier's heelwat buitelandse besoekers ook wat vanmiddag hierdie wedstryd sit en dophou. Dr. Dani Craven. Besering iets van die verlede. Gert Smil. Netjies 'n stukkie lyn staan, werk agter in die lyn staan. Jennis wat in die agterlyn ingekom het. En dit is Wal Bartman. Wat gekeer moet word. Gaan hy hom uitkry. Ondersteuning is daar. Hulle wil hom hê. Suid-Afrika wil die bal hê.
Skitterende beslissing van die skeieregter dat hy nie geblaas het vir 'n aanslag nie, want Johan Jennis het die bal agtertoe laat val.
Wal Bartman met hier aan die diskant sak. Amper te laat gewag. Bietjie bottervingers deur Michael Du Plessis, maar hy kry hom tog weg. Verander heeltemal van rigting. Herstel die fout baie mooi en Karel Du Plessis. Het vir Uli Schmidt aan sy binnekant. En Schmidt die hardloop en hy moet opkry. Dis 'n ongelooflike 3 hierdie. Uli Schmidt druk die eerste 3 van die wedstryd. Ons gaan hom weer bekyk. Kyk daar, die pragtige aangee. En dan effens van 'n fout wat die Springbokke maak. Jaco Reinagh wat hom eintlik agter sy rug moet vat, maar dan 'n baie slim ding doen om die rigting te verander na Jennis toe, wat laat loop na Karel Du Plessis met daardie pragtige loopie van hom. En Uli Schmidt die kom baie mooi in. En hy sy stap soos 'n waffer se agterspeler. Intussen is die skop oor deur naast Botha.
Uli Schmidt het al die hele middag is hy kort by om te ondersteun en ek dink dis 'n welverdiende 3 vir hom veral hier op Loftus.
Ons kyk hom weer. Michael du Plessis. En hy moet terugval. Jaco Reinach. Hennis. Dis 'n lang aangee. En hierdie kerel is vinnig, Karel du Plessis. Hy het spoed en Uli Schmid die sien, nee, hier moet ek aan die binnekant kom. En dit moet seker vir 'n verdediger 'n vreesaanjaende gesig wees as 'n man so afstorm op die doellyn.
In die tussentyd was daar 'n besering gewees na aanslaan en die skeieregter wag nou net vir die besering en dan dink ek gaan daar 'n skram wees.
Dis na 39 minute wat hy so lyk. Weer 'n besering en 'n oponthoud in die spel. Ons kyk vir 'n derde keer na daardie 3. Is Johan Hennis wat daardie ver gegee het na Karel du Plessis. Dis daarom krag in daardie bobene. En Uli Schmid is 'n baie bly man. Grant Fox. En dat loop na Craig Green wat so vinnig ingesny het. Weer Grant Fox wat hom in die hande het. Word 'n bietjie hoog na hom gevat. Maak so, kop omlaag. Uli Schmid om hom grond toe te bring. Dis harde rugby. Marie Maxted.
Strafskop teen Uli Schmid. Hy het van die verkeerde kant af ingekom en toe het hy die bal toegeval.
En dis 'n maklike skop wat wag op Grant Fox wat reeds met 2 strafskoppe geslaag het. Dis 'n beseringstyd van die eerste helfte. Ons kyk daarna. Maak Shaw wat grond toe gebring word deur Uli Schmid.
Daar kan 'n mens mooi sien hoe lê aan die verkeerde kant en maak hy die bal toe.
Nou Grant Fox, die wil hom verklein, hierdie voorsprong van 6 punte na 3 toe. Sy derde poging pale toe, by die eerste 2 was hy suksesvol. Daar is hy nie baie skuins nie. Nie baie ver nie. En die vlaas sal zeer sekerlik omhoog skiet. Ja. Grant Fox, 9 punte aangeteken vir die All Blacks. 3 punte voorsprong, 41 minute verstreke. Ja, nog is dit einde niet van hierdie helfte.
Ja, so 'n bietjie haastig gewees die Springbok voorspelers voor die bal en dis hoekom ons die skram.
Wil nog nie die veld oor voetjie of die veld oortjies dra nie. Dis Jakkals Dreyer wat 'n man dier te staan kan kom. Goed gekeer deur Botha. Cartwright wat so vinnig op hom afgestorm het. Dit is rustyd. Met rustyd dan waar die Springbokke voorloop met 12 punte teenoor 9. Net 1-3 dusver gedruk. Dit is gedruk deur Uli Schmid. Die doelskop van Haas Botha was daar wat ook met 2 strafdoele geslaag het. En daar is 3 strafdoele aan die kant van die All Blacks. 12-9 en eers terug naar die atelier in Johannesburg.
Well, there we are again, and anybody's game. 12 points to 9 with the Springboks having scored a goal and 2 penalties, and the New Zealand those 3 penalties. The try scored by Uli Schmid, and certainly, as you saw, lovely work by Johan Hennis with that beautiful long pass into the hands of Karel du Plessis. And then we saw the class of this great left wing when he beat Gary Wetton, and he timed his pass so perfectly when he had to turn round and at the last minute see exactly where Uli Schmid was. And Uli Schmid doing well to beat Gary Knight and to crash over as he was tackled by Crowley. Well, now we're about to have the second half, and we're on, and There we are. Has it gone 10 metres? Yes, Andy Hayden, that to Gary Wetton has it now. And Andy Donald says, let's have it. Hicka Reid, I think, has grabbed it, but a Springbok hand or two is around it. In goes Hicka Reid again. And good work by Gary Knight. Andrew Donald with it. To Jock Hobbs, the captain. Here's the drive. And they'll want second phase. Beautiful second phase. Fox, Taylor. And a lovely break by Taylor. Tackled by Nas Botha, but inside there, Simpson. And that's over the 22-metre line. Andy Donald. And they could have a man over here. Crowley in the line. Crowley cutting back, though. Gary Knight helping. And reverse direction. That is Taylor. That is Craig Green. Craig Green. And the Springboks defence at 6s and 7s at the moment. Second phase again. Andrew Donald. And that is Fox. The long pass out there to fullback Crowley. And Crowley scored. Crowley is in. And that was beautiful rugby with second phase coming back and again. The Springbok defence all over the place. And with that beautiful loose ruck ball, here it is.
Well, this is a combination of a couple of rucks, and Grant Fox reading the situation very well. The long pass over to Kieran Crowley. Kieran Crowley taking it above his head very well, and he goes in to score. But some certainly little weak defence by the Springboks enabled them to the New Zealanders to cross the advantage line. Here we see it again. Fox with the overhead pass. Crowley taking it very well indeed. No defence in sight at this stage. They'd all been committed.
And Crowley even had Mike Clamp outside him as an extra man. And now we're going to see this difficult conversion attempt. The New Zealanders 1 point ahead with the kick to come. 13 points to 12. Each side having scored 1 try in this match. Grant Fox has kicked pretty well so far. It's a difficult angle. And wait for it. Yes, it's there. A beautiful conversion from about as difficult a place as you can get. And Grant Fox will be delighted about that. 15 points to 12, as you see. And each side has scored a goal. South Africa 2 penalties and the New Zealanders 3. So that is great success for the New Zealanders straight away, and looks as though they've got this ball, they're controlling it. There's the drive, and Murray Bexted flicking it back to Fox. Taylor with it, Crowley with it, Crowley it is now with it, and second phase Shaw, Mark Shaw bullocking his way forward, Hicka Reid helping. Number 3 is Gary Knight. Jock Hobbs standing clear at number 7, but he's behind that last line of feet. Fox. Kunis coming across. Outside his 22. And Crowley is also outside his 22. What will he do? There's that long raking kick right down the middle. Jaco Reinach waiting for it. Nas Botha. And he's challenged by Donald, but he did well to get his kick. It hasn't found touch again. And Fox with all the time in the world. Keeping the ball in play. That was a deliberate up and under. Nas Botha going for it. And kicking it ahead into the hands of Crowley. Crowley, a good rolling kick.
Well, I'm not sure that we've seen a test match where there's been so much kicking up and down the field. But certainly the Springboks will have to tighten up their defence. The All Blacks rolling ball going well in the first couple of minutes of the second half.
There's Gary Knight in the front, Wetton behind him, Shaw behind him, and Andy Donald, referee waiting for advantage, through the hands of Taylor to Simpson. Simpson in the gap. Kunis, a difficult one, and it bounced very awkwardly. Donnie Gerber is there. Ball grabbed by Donnie Gerber. Hicka Reid was there to tackle him, and Garthwaite has a word with Nas Buerta just before he put the ball in there. Scrum is swinging around a little bit. Garthwaite to Nas. And has he timed it well? He's bounced it inside the field of play, being chased by Jacko Reinach. Awkward one for Carley, and Reinach did well to get Carley there. And a tremendous fly hack that didn't go out into the rescue is Murray Mexted right at the back there, picking it up. Cowboy Shaw and Uli Schmidt just getting acquainted there. And the Springboks, as you can see, in a good position, but it is Andrew Donald to put the ball in, and the All Blacks very seldom don't hook it when that happens. We haven't noticed any heels against the head so far. That's Grant Fox. That is the New Zealanders' 25-metre line. As you can see, there's Mark Shaw. Gary Wetton behind him. Tap back, Hickareed with it, or nearly with it. But the referee said it was knocked forward and a New Zealanders' ball. Too powerful front rows. Pete Creer on this side, coming against John Ashworth. And the referee says a free kick, not a penalty for not in strike. Or was it foot up? Yeah, foot up. Notice when he holds his hand like that, it's a free kick, which means you cannot go for the post. And here we go to get
taking it back now for a chance. Nas Buerta must go for a drop.
Nas wanting his other players behind him. Here's Nas, drop goal attempt, and I think it's wide. It's to the right. So the score remains 15 points to 12 with the New Zealanders leading. 7 minutes gone in the second half.
Well, that's Nas Buerta's third attempt at drop goals, and unsuccessful with all three.
Val Bartman, beautifully taken by Wetton. It's picked up by Franz Erasmus there. And the Springboks going to get it. Back, Nas Buerta. And there's that long kick for the left wing, Coral du Plessis. Mike Clamp is ahead of him, though. And it's straight into touch. It looked as though it actually bounced on the line. And, of course, when that happens, it is taken as a kick directly into touch. It's the 10-metre line of the New Zealanders. Referee changing his position so he can see if there is any argy-bargy in the line. Up went Jannie Breert, but I think the New Zealanders have it. Mexted driving in there and Wetton. But the referee says it was knocked forward and set scrum with Andrew Donald to put it in. Andrew Donald, who came on in place of Dave Loveridge after 14 minutes. Very quick heel held, Murray Mexted. Donald reversing well to Fox. And has Fox kicked it too far? I think it could. No, it's well in the field of play. A beautiful kick by Grant Fox. Landed it inside the field of play. So the New Zealanders on the attack, as you can see. Louis Moorman taking it cleanly there. And the referee says a Springbok ball, and the ball was dead. It wasn't going to emerge. The Moorman dragged down immediately. He got that ball, but they were trying to pull him through onto the New Zealanders' side of the scrum. The referee wants them to scrum on the exact spot. Come back, he says. You probably heard that coming through. Ground microphone. Got Small on this side, and scrum swinging around, and offside there. Ball cleverly held in the scrum. Jannie Breert, I think, had a sixth sense to know that the flank forwards were marauding around the side of the scrum, and he held it in. And that's a good kick by Nas. Lovely kick from his own 22 to his opponent's 22. Oswald Bartman. Murray Mexted at the back, in front of him Gary Wetton. Scott Burger with the band around his head. And a short one, tapped back by Ashworth to Donald. And Jacko Reinach with it into Nasbuerta. And Nasbuerta keeping it in play. Murray Mexted is there. And Nasbuerta with it. And he's going to score. Nas is going to score. A lovely piece of work by the fly half. A slightly lucky bounce perhaps. But handsome is as handsome down. And it is 4 more points to the Springboks.
Well, here we see it again, the pass from Jacko Reinach. A lot of people would have shouted run, pass, but Nas with a little chip ahead. Now watch for the very good offensive tackle from Johan Jonas. There's Jonas storming down on Murray Mexted. Great tackle by him. The bounce straight into the little fly half's hands, and he is very quick over 22 meters. I think I'm right in saying that that is Nas's first try in Test match rugby.
There's the second round of applause. While you were watching, Nasbuerta converted his own try, and so that is the score. The Springboks leading by 2 goals and 2 penalties to 1 goal and 3 penalties by the New Zealanders, and the
New Zealand forwards in front of the kick.
So they opt for the scrum. They could have had a kick again. So Nasbuerta had scored 204 points before the beginning of this game, and it is 20th Test match. Garth Wright ball being cleverly held there, and Jock Hobbs swinging around, and with it is Jannie Breert. Good possession, helped by Piet Creer, and coming through quickly, Grant Fox fly hacking it. Nasbuerta, Craig Green with it now. Craig Green keeping it in play. Johan Jonas is under it, and is it a knock forward? The ref says yes. The ref says it was knocked forward. And so that puts the All Blacks into a very good attacking position.
Well, Johan Jonas just clapping his hands in disappointment there and angry with himself, I think, for a momentary lack of concentration. But of course, he who really set up that try for Nasbuerta with a very good tackle.
And next hit to Andrew Donald. He's got Craig Green there. Craig Green kept just short, only half a metre short. And the referee, what is he saying? Saying it was
forward in the tackle.
Forward in the tackle. As Craig Green went down, the ball spattered forward, so Springboks only 3 meters from their line, but it is their ball. A very important one for Uli Schmidt to hook. He's got Franz Erasmus next to him on the loose head, and the Springboks will want a shove. Being held in the back row. Back to Nas, and Craig Green and Andrew Donald very quickly up onto Nasbuerta. He did very well to get that away.
That just shows you the immense value of a fly half being able to kick with either foot.
Yeah, left-footed kick there by Nasbuerta, and you see how far away he booted that ball from well inside his own in-goal area. There's Andy Hayden, Gary Wetton, and out it to Fox, Mark Shaw. Well tackled by the Springboks there, and I think that ball is going to be dead. Well, it's coming out. Andrew Donald with it, and he's in a gap looking for support. Who's he got there? He had Jock Hobbs. Back it goes to Gary Knight. New Zealanders going right over the top there. And back it comes. Fox out of Taylor. Taylor in a gap. And a knock forward, I think. Referee waiting for advantage, and he says there is. No, he says there's no advantage as Donnie Gerber chased that ball.
Donnie Gerber got up there very quickly because it was a very, very good tackle that he brought off on Warwick Taylor as Warwick Taylor was going through. But there you see the All Blacks, quite interesting, when they put the ball down, the others just come storming in. Sometimes it must be very close to obstruction, and Jannie Breert receiving attention. We'll see it now, the ball coming out quickly, nice heel for the New Zealanders. Warwick Taylor, there's Gerber, watch Gerber now, there goes Warwick Taylor. Very good tackle by Gerber. Michael du Plessis getting back quick through the hands, Jonas unable to hold on to it. And unlucky actually for the Springboks. Well, I suppose the scrum is going to be to New Zealand for the knock-on by Jonas, or it's going to be to South Africa for the knock-on by Warwick Taylor, is it? No, it's going to be to New Zealand.
Hugh, but Warwick Taylor, a second 5/8, has had some lovely breaks this afternoon.
Certainly has.
Waiting for it. Andy Donald. Fox. Long one out of Simpson. Simpson there, and out it is to Craig Green. He's a danger man, a real danger man, but good tackling there. Ken Small coming across, and Kunis. That's Craig Green.
New Zealand ball. Craig Green very nearly took a quick one to Hicka Reid.
So the All Blacks are pressurising the Springbok defence. They've been on the attack now for quite a few minutes. That's John Ashworth. Behind him, Louis Moolman. Andy Hayden. Behind him is Skalk Burger. Deep one to Mexted. Jock Hobbs has it. Warwick Taylor in there. And the Springboks trying to go forward. Is that ball buried? Yes, the referee says it will not emerge. Springbok ball. They were going forward, and the All Blacks.
And Jock Hobbs is in trouble. Jock Hobbs is just about to receive a little bit of attention at the back of the Springbok scrum there.
There he is on the ground next to the referee. Jock Hobbs, captain of the day.
He's actually done extremely well, Jock Hobbs, I think, in captaining, taking over from Andy Dalton. Here we see it again. And the ball went loose. There's the tackle. And Jock Hobbs just going down awkwardly under the tackle from Gert Smal.
Big Louis Moorman, number 5, talking to Uli Schmidt, Uli Schmidt, who is a medical doctor, of course, himself.
He was the man who tackled Dave Loveridge when Dave Loveridge was so badly concussed. But it was unfortunate for the New Zealanders, but I think they're lucky that they have a player of the calibre of Andy Donald to take over as a reserve. And he's done extremely well. Jock Hobbs, I think, difficult situation for him to take over from Andy Dalton. Great guy, great player.
Just waiting for the first 8 men to get off the field. Garth Wright. Masquerta. And this is a touch he won't miss, I'm sure. No, he hasn't.
And talking about Garth Wright, I think that one can say the great Test debut has done very little wrong. His service has been crisp, sharp, too nice, but perhaps could use his own boot a little bit more and possibly a sniping break or two.
But he's also had far better protection from the Springbok forwards than they afforded to Christo Ferreira at the last Test. They've played a lot better. Mexted at the back, tapping it back, and going through is Gert Smal, picked up by Simpson. Simpson tackled by Gerber. They're getting to know each other again. A little bit of impetuousness between both the centres. And this is on the halfway line. 17 minutes gone in the second half. Springboks leading 18 points to 15. Fox. And taking it is Karel du Plessis. Kunis shoveling it to Gerber there. And what's Gerber going to do? He's running into trouble, and he's got nowhere to pass to. Gerber's very strong on his feet. He still has it, I think. Gert Smal trying to help him. Frans Erasmus going in, number 1.
Well, there the hold-up in play by the Springboks, and the New Zealanders going forward, attacking side's ball.
Now, when the ball is not on the ground, under law 20.7, it's the side that's going forward who get the right to put it in. When it's on the ground, it's a different matter. That's law 22. And Andrew Donald. Back, Fox, Taylor. Missing out a man to Crowley. And Kunis coming in, picking up very well on the run, but having the ball knocked out of his hand. And Garth Wright. Good little chip into the box, and this is dangerous. Garth Wright has got it still, and no support. Springboks with it. Val Bartman, helped by Frans Erasmus on the halfway line. Garth Wright to Werter. And has he got a gap? Being chased there by Jacko Reinach. Craig Green got his foot to it first.
Well, one might say thank you, Garth Wright, Chick.
Yes, very good work by the scrum half, Garth Wright. And that's put the Springboks onto the attack.
Pete Kruger there just giving Skalk Burger a little encouragement. He looks a bit tired, but also a good debut by Pete Kruger in Test matches against international countries.
And it looks as though we're going to have a nice Bertha has called the referee's attention to the fact that Michael du Plessis is not too good. Look at his teeth. He's a dentist by profession, of course, is Michael du Plessis. And Lars taking the opportunity of a swig at the magic water bottle.
Well, it's 18 points to 15. It's really still anybody's game.
Well, yes, we have had exactly 20 minutes in this game, and the Springboks leading by 2 goals and 2 penalties to the New Zealanders 1 goal and 3 penalties. 2 tries to 1 they're leading by. 18 points to 15. That's the score.
Nou ja, die Springbokke net buitekant die kwartgebied. Daar lê hy van die All Blacks. Enige iets kan nog in hierdie wedstryd gebeur. En die Hayden wat hom in die lyn staan uit die lug uitpluk. En Grant Fox met Val Baartman by hom maak baie seker dat hy die bal uitskop. Baie goed pale toe geskop vandag. All Black voorspelers vaar hier in die tweede helfte baie beter as in die eerste helfte. En die Donald wat grond toe gebring word. Bietjie te hard deurgeskop. Wat dan gaan vir Craig Green en heel agter Kieran Crowley ver terugjaag. En dwing hom uit te skop.
Die All Blacks vaar beslis beter in die lyn staan in die tweede helfte. Hulle kry ook die balle beter weg en die Springbokke sukkel 'n bietjie om die balle skoon weg te kry.
Louis Moelman wat 'n paar mooi balle uit die lug uitgevat het. Maar die Maxter daar agter deur Gert Smil verander en Simpson wat hom in die hande kry ook in besit betrap. Grant Fox. Dis 'n lekker rigtingverandering. Craig Green.
Ja, bietjie vorentoe en die skeieregter het dit baie goed raak gesien. Grant Fox speel 'n baie goeie wedstryd vanmiddag. Hy druk vir my sy stempel af hier aan die All Black kant.
Krag teen krag. Dis 'n skoppie wat miskien 'n bietjie te diep is. Vir die Springbokke om by hom te kom.
Ook Gaas right. Ons sê so saam Gaas right. Hy speel ook 'n baie goeie wedstryd vanmiddag en hy plaas hulle onder druk.
Die kwartlyn van die All Blacks. Hayden. Hier kan 'n ding kom. Dani Gerber wat daar probeer deursny. Kry die ondersteuning en naas Botha wat eers wil skipskop pale toe. Dan sien hy nie wat ek moet van rigting verander en 'n jakkalsdraf hier met 'n skop hier sal vir my baie beter doen en is 'n netjiese skop.
Die All Black centers lê vir Dani Gerber vas vanmiddag. Hulle maak 'n gaping vir hom en die oomblik as hy in die gaping inkom dan vat die derde man op.
Nou in die eerste helfte het die Springbokke baie balle op die ingooi van die All Blacks gekry. Simpson wat beseer is. Victor Simpson. Hierdie skeieregter het vanmiddag hierdie wedstryd tot dusver skitterend hanteer. Ken Rollins.
Hy is baie streng met ongeoorloofde spel. En ek dink dis 'n baie goeie ding. Hy het hier in die eerste 20 minute het hy eenvoudig alle ongeoorloofde liggaamlike kontak het hy gestop.
Ons kyk daar vir Botha. Daar die netjiese skop van hom in die linkervoet. Nou die All Blacks het reeds 1 plaasvervanger op die veld. Gelukkig vir hulle sal dit nie 'n tweede een nou wees nie, want Victor Simpson is gereed. Maar wat ek nou gesê het is dat in die eerste helfte die Springbokke baie die bal in die lyn staan op die ingooi van die All Blacks gekry. In die tweede helfte gaan dit nie so goed met hulle nie. Hulle wil hom nou hê en hulle kry hom. Dani Gerber. Daar's Botha. Sy 4de skipskop poging is regs verby. 4 keer met skipskoppe en hy kan nie verstaan dat hy hierdie balle kan oorkry nie. Geweldige druk wat vanmiddag toegepas word op die Springbok agterlyn. Al Baartman met die ondersteuning van Frans Erasmus. Piet Creer wat kom eintjie bysit.
Die All Blacks doen dit baie netjies. Die eerste All Black wat bywaal is, draai hom net om na die All Blacks se kant toe en dan smoor hulle hom en dan kry hulle die bal by die ingooi.
Kan die breedse skoppie. Karel wat ook al vanmiddag 'n klompie mooi dinge gedoen het op die verdediging en op die aanval. Sy verdediging is natuurlik baie skitterend. Die skare die vra vir nou en Gert Smil trek die asem diep in. En die Hayden wat gevat het vir die All Blacks.
Weer eens is die skeieregter nie tevrede nie en hy blaas en onmiddellik om die hoopie tot 'n einde te bring.
Gert Smil wat laaste opstaan. Reiskop. Bal vorentoe geskop deur die haker. Uli Schmidt. Dis ver en dis suiwer. Grant Fox. Hier gaan 'n kort lyn staan weer wees. Wolman hier voor. Craig Green, netjies gevat uit die lug uit. Hier aan Crowley 'n beter hoek. Was binnekant sy kwartgebied. En daar al wat die direkte uitskop. – 14 minute speeltyd bly oor. Baie klein verskil tussen hierdie twee spanne. Gaat hy op nou skoon vat. Skalkburger of Gert Smil. Dis agter op Smil. Maar Mark Shaw wat eintlik afgeneem het. Donald en Fox. En Jack Hobbs. Of liever Jock Hobbs. Harry Maxted. Weer netjies in die hande gekry. En Grant Fox kan seker maak van die kantlyn, maar ek dink die een is gaan eers daar wees. Ja. Een is baie goed gevaar om maar daar die bal nie uitrol nie. Dis baie netjies 'n lyn staan werk daarie. Mark Shaw wat so instorm. Soek weer die losbal. Dat trap en krap en hulle het hom. Hier naast Botha vas daar die skipskop poging van Grant Fox. Meesters om die bal op hierdie manier in die hande te kry. Simpson, Craig Green. Wel dwarskop, maar Jaco Reinach die verhoed het.
All Blacks skitterend weer met 'n paar losballe wat hulle uit 'n loskram uitgewen het. En dan is hulle natuurlik baie gevaarlik.
Ja, dit is natuurlik hulle sterkste aanvalswapen.
As die bal uitkom na hulle agterlyn toe, dan forceer hulle ook daai loskram af. En as daai bal dan daar uitkom, is hulle baie gevaarlik en die agterlyn is reg om te hardloop.
Besering.
Hier in die tweede helfte het die All Blacks nou al 8 van daai vinnige loskrams gewen teen die Springboks se 3. Terwyl in die eerste helfte dit nie so goed gegaan met hulle nie. Toe was hulle so omtrent dieselfde aantal.
Ons kyk daar. Jaco Reinach kom in sy pad. Gary Wetton wat die besering opgedoen het. Hy is 'n bil en hy is reg. Wetton daar van Auckland, 26 jaar oud. Agter Andy Hayden gaan neem hy plek in. Gert Smil het al baie goeie werk daar agter in die lyn staan gedoen. Dis 'n tweede skepskop poging pale toe. En hy's tussen die pale deur. Dis weer gelyk op. Hy het al die punte van die All Blacks aangeteken, behalwe die 4 punte vir die 3 wat daar gedruk is. Kan lekker in posisie kom vir die skepskop. Daar is hy gelyk op na 30 minute in die tweede helfte. Nou wil die Springbokke met mening met daardie bal beweeg. Frasie Rasmus wat goed ondersteun word. Bietjie getas na die bal, maar Gathright kry hom tog netjies in die hande. Dit kan 'n gevaarlike skopie wees. Jaco Reinagh wat hom byna in die hande kry en dan Uli Schmidt wat 'n bo-paas game speel of liewer wedstryd speel. En Louis Moelman.
Ja, van die verkeerde kant af ingegaan, maar weer eens het meneer Ken Rowlands baie mooi gewag vir voordeel. Maar daar was geen twyfel nie. Hy het net gestaan en wag en kyk of die bal nie vinnig gaan uitkom nie.
En sy verduideliking is net so duidelik soos die veldore sou gewees het. Wat hy nie wil dra nie. Kyk daar. Louis Moelman. Dan Murray Mexter. Dis 'n 3 punte voorsprong. Naas Botha ook al sy punte aangeteken, behalwe die 3 wat gedruk is deur Uli Schmidt. 31 minute. En daar is die 3 punte voorsprong.
Dis baie hard en baie gelyk op. Maar weer eens, ek dink Grant Fox speel 'n uitstekende wedstryd vir die All Blacks.
Baie beslis. En die enigste Grant Fox sy afskop word deur Frasie Rasmus teen aan die kantlyn opgetel. Dis 'n rol aangee wat moeilik is en Dani Gerber wat netjies vat. Michael Du Plessis en Karel Du Plessis. Hier gaan het ding kom. En Dani Gerber. Daar trek hy. Alla wêreld, is het nie mooi nie. Dis mos nou pragtig. Jolyk hier onder die skare, 'n baie belangrike toetswedstryd om te wen. En Dani Gerber baie tevrede. Ons kyk op. Gathright swak aangee na Botha. Tel hom van die grond af op. En Dani Gerber. Michael Du Plessis. Karel Du Plessis. En as Dani Gerber hom nou hier in die hande kry, dan kan mens daar die vaartversnelling sien.
Skitterend hoe hy die oppositie opsom en dan aan die buitekant omgaan sodat hy die bal kan kry.
Craig Green het hom amper daar skaap gevang.
Kenmerkend hoe lag hy, nee, om so lekker te kry dat hy die 3 gaan druk.
Hey, dis lekker. As 2 punte bygevoeg deur Naas Botha. En daar is 'n mooi voorsprong na 33 minute. Wie is daar die besering?
Dit lyk vir my of dit Michael kan wees, want hy het 'n baie harde tackle geneem.
Ons kyk weer.
Daar, nou het hy 'n baie moeilike tackle geneem.
Kom hy. Hey, dis daar 'n lekker om 'n man so te sien hardloop. Dis paal toe. Warwick Taylor, die laaste man wat daarby kom.
Ja, dit was Michael Du Plessis wat seer gekry het, maar hy's reg.
Louis Moelman wat hom hier teen aan die kantlyn wil vat. Daar die bal is direk uit. En die skram word verkies.
Ek dink dit was 'n baie belangrike 3 op 'n baie sielkundige oomblik wat vir die Springbok sielkundig dink ek ook nou 'n voordeel kan gee.
Ja, en hulle het dit nodig gehad want hierdie All Blacks het baie beter gespeel hier in die tweede helfte. Nie sleg gevaar in sy eerste toets, Gathright nie. Is vinnig uitgegee, vinnig gedink. En Jenis Dan sy span op die aanvalpas. Johan Jenus. Daar is 5 minute speeltyd oor in hierdie wedstryd. En vir die All Blacks om 'n sê te hê, moet hulle 2 keer punte aanteken. Minstens. Is baie manne hierdie All Blacks. En is manne wat 'n bal pragtig kan bemeester. Is wild uitgegee.
Die Springbokke pas nou baie druk toe.
Nou kyk daar hoe naby is hy aan die doellyn. Hierdie agterlyn van die Springbokke gaan nou baie diep staan.
En dit is die Springbokke se bal om in te gooi by die lyn staan.
Hier sal verdediging kos as hulle hierdie bal kan skoon wegkry.
Ja, weer vasgedruk en omgekom aan die verkeerde kant en daarom die strafskop aan die All Blacks.
Grant Fox bring duidelik verligting. Maar nie so ver as hy hom graag wou uitgehaal het. 68.000 mense sit hier en kyk na hierdie toetswedstryd. Dis beter oorgestuur. Maar Cartwright, die moet sy eentjie terugval. En toe hy nou onder druk is, het hy miskien die regte ding gedoen om die klein kantjie langs te skop. Vic Simpson, Craig Green. Nee, sy skop toe nie dwars nie. Hy wou dwars skop. Maar van die kant van die voet af, Craig Green. Man wat die meeste drieë op hierdie toer van die All Blacks aangeteken het. Sy is vriendelik en sy waai. Skalk nou die of die Burger wat oorstuur. Nee, hulle bly meesters hierdie All Blacks om daardie bal uit 'n loskram te haal. Mike Clem wat nie juist beweeg ruimte het nie. Michael Du Plessis wat 'n stokkie daar voorsteek. Dat hulle skoon beweeg maar weer aan die beweeg. Mike Clem wat optel. Weer kry hulle hom in die hande. Dis manne wat inklim. As hulle daar die bal wil hê, dan wil hulle hom hê.
Hulle bly meesters geraak met daai los skrums. Hulle kry net die bal. Dit lyk asof die Springbokke hom gaan kry en die volgende oomblik kom hy aan die All Blacks se kant uit.
Piet Creer 'n bietjie wind uit. Maar hy's reg. Sakkie voor teen John Ashworth. Daar is 2 minute speeltyd oor. Janie Breed en Wal Bartman en Louis Moelman van hom af spat het vorentoe. Voordeel word toegelaat. Dis 'n mooi voorsprong, 27-18 in hierdie laat stadium van die wedstryd. Janie Breed wat 'n bar speel. Ika Reed eerste by die skrum. As Cartwright het van amper daar in besit betrap. En die Hayden wat opgetel het. Mike Clem. Harold Du Plessis wat vir hom grond toe bring. Mike Clem so bietjie, hy wil sommer hier laat wil hy groet.
En die skeieregter van Nieu-Seeland wat hier by ons kuier, die grensregter daar aan die ander kant staan om net so en kyk. Die
meenemers daar 'n vlag daar 'n bietjie dwars gehou het. Nou ja, Jacobs en Max Shaw. Was ook 'n harde speler hierdie. Vandag is hy weer daar. Victor Simpson. Michael Du Plessis wat hom grond toe bring en Mike Clem wat in besit betrap is.
Nee, die bal is dood en die All Blacks het hom vasgehou, maar die Springbokke het hom doodgemaak in hierdie geval met die laatvat en ek dink dis die interpretasie van meneer Rowlands daar.
Victor Simpson wat terugdraf. Jy weet ek en jy het al 3 keer vanmiddag Engelse woorde gebruik. Dis game en dis tackle en dis bal.
Maar so hard Gerard dat mens moet seker.
Nou wat gaan hy hiermee maak? Grant Fox, naas Botha, hy loop teen naas Botha vas, maar hou besit. Kyk of die All Blacks hom weer so vinnig kan uithaal.
Nee, die bal is weer dood. Die All Blacks het vorentoe beweeg met die bal en ek dink dis die interpretasie daarvan meneer Rowlands.
Speeltyd is verstreke. 27 punte teenoor 18.
En kyk hoe swaar staan die manne op. En Oelie sê, meneer, is dit nie amper klaar nie?
Dit is nou beseringstyd. Hy het 'n pragtige 3 gedruk, die kerel Oelie Smit. Andrew Donald en vir Oulaas wil Simpson daar deur 'n gaping probeer kom, kry dit nie heeltemal reg, maar die Mixter dit ondersteun. Kan hom weer kry. Donald wat uitgee en Fox wat jou werklik waar aanslaan. Maar die voordeel die word toegelaat. En hier is spoed, hier is spoed, hier is spoed. Hier is spoed, hier is spoed. Jaco Reinach.
Maar skitterend weer deur Oelie Smit wat die bal ontvang het en uitgegee het. Hy speel 'n absolute skitterende wedstryd.
Die All Blacks en die Donald wat hom in die hande kry en daar maak hy die fout. Grant Fox sy enigste fout van die dag. Gaat smal baie vinnig by. En dan Oelie Smit. Dani Gerber is by hom. En daar is hy. Daar die geweldige spoed soos hy sy treerek byna gegly.
En Dani Gerber weer aan sy binnekant, né? Net ingeval.
En dit is 'n suiwer 3. Sy tweede toets 3 wat hy druk. Hy is tussen die pale deur. En dis 33 punte teenoor 18. Dis die einde van die wedstryd en die Springbokke wen dan hierdie baie belangrike wedstryd met 33 punte teenoor 18. Aan All Black kant is daar 'n 3 gedruk deur Kieran Crowley. Ons gaan eers weer na daardie 3 kyk voor ons verder gaan. Daar is die eindtelling. Naas Botha 'n baie trotse man. Nou daar is 'n 3 aan All Black kant deur Kieran Crowley en vir die Springbokke Oelie Smit, naas Botha, Dani Gerber en Jaco Reinach wat 3 gedruk het. Ons kyk of ons weer daardie 3 kan sien voordat ons terugskakel na die ateljee, want dit is die moeite werd. Daar kom hy. Dis lekker as 'n man so kan hardloop.
Skitterende
Hy
swing.
byna gegly daar, byna gegly en daar is Dani Gerber en Dani Gerber begin al juig want hy weet hier is 'n 3. Hy val kort, maar sy momentum dra hom oor.
Geen probleem nie. 'n Baie mooi voorbeeld van 'n momentum.
Nou ja, ons skakel dan met daardie telling 33 punte teenoor 18 terug na die ateljee. Moenie die stryd van die reuse misloop nie. Die opwinding van internasionale rugby word aan u gebied deur geel bladsye.